I owned Grand Theft Auto 5 for 5 years before I even made it to the Jewel Store Heist. Not because I didn't play the game, it was one of my most played as a kid. I just didn't care about progression. I liked messing around in the open world. Looking back on it now, that sounds insane. How was I having fun if I wasn't actually accomplishing anything? And honestly, I don't think I came up with this way of playing on my own. A lot of the videos I watched growing up weren't about finishing games either. They were about causing chaos inside them. I think I treated open world games more like playgrounds than stories, and early YouTube shaped the way I explored them. In Grand Theft Auto 5, my playstyle went far beyond the usual chaos of mowing down NPCs and escaping the police. Two memories stand out in particular. One was climbing to the top of a hospital and holding my ground as police slowly made their way up the ladders toward me. The other was running across the street from a different hospital, using the buzzard cheat code, and flying it down the highway while blowing up traffic, until I eventually ran out of missiles. What's strange is that whenever I died, I would immediately go back and repeat the exact same thing again. That repetition is probably why both of these activities ended up centered around hospitals in the first place. In Just Cause 3, I had a few similar routines. I would pile up cars on bridges just to blow them up all at once, drive vehicles off mountains to watch the crashes, or stand on top of NPC cars while destroying police vehicles chasing me. And in Skate 3, my favorite activity was Haul of Meat. Always at the quarry, I wasn't really skating in any traditional sense. I would find different ways to injure my skater, then immediately switch to replay mode just to watch the crash in slow motion. On the surface, all of these games are open world sandboxes, so it would be easy to dismiss this as just normal gameplay. But I don't think that fully explains it. These weren't occasional moments. They were the majority of how I spent my time in these games. And more importantly, they weren't random. I would repeat the same routines every single time I played. It might seem like there's no logic to it, but I think there actually was. A big part of that comes from the YouTube videos I grew up watching.
How's it going, man? Yo! Welcome back to Skate 3. Good.
Uh-oh! I spent a lot of time on my iPad watching YouTube as a kid. 3 of my favorite creators were TheGamingLemon, VenturianTale, and NerdCubed. They all played similar games, but there were certain series from each of them that really stuck with me. I must have watched every single TheGamingLemon GTA 4 mod showcase video. I thought this guy was hilarious, and the mods were absolute mayhem. The videos weren't about missions or progression, they were about seeing how much chaos the game could handle before completely breaking. With VenturianTale, I mostly watched their Gmod videos, but one of my favorites was their Just Cause 2 series. I thought it was insane that you could call in any vehicle anywhere. The game was just non-stop action. Watching him grapple cars to planes felt like the most entertaining thing I had ever seen at that age. And with NerdCubed, it was the Skate 3 Hall of Meat videos. I just thought watching the skater get absolutely destroyed in ridiculous ways was hilarious. Looking back on it now, I think these videos shaped the way I viewed games. Watching GTA 4, Just Cause 2, and Skate 3 is a huge part of why I ended up getting GTA 5, Just Cause 3, and Skate 3 for myself. But the important part is why I wanted them. I didn't watch these videos because I cared about the stories or wanted to complete missions. I watched them because they were funny, chaotic, and unpredictable. So when I finally got these games myself, that's exactly how I played them. I wasn't treating these games like stories to progress through. I treated them like toys to recreate the moments I'd spent years watching. Almost every one of my favorite things to do in these games came from something I'd seen on YouTube first. And I would repeat the same routines in these games because that's what kids do. They watched their favorite movies or shows on repeat, and I saw video games as no different to them. I can't imagine I was the only kid who played games like this. And I don't even think this was a bad way to experience them. Back then, the fun came from freedom. The feeling that you could boot up the game and make your own entertainment for hours without accomplishing anything at all. But when revisiting these games and trying to play them the way I used to, it just didn't feel the same anymore. Obviously, I've gotten older. I understand the intended purpose of these games now in a way I didn't as a kid. But I also think games, and the culture around them, have changed too. A lot of modern games feel more focused on keeping you engaged than simply letting you have fun. Battle passes, daily challenges, endless progression systems. I don't even think these are inherently bad. And live service games can absolutely be enjoyable, but it creates a very different relationship with these games. It makes you feel like you have to play even when you don't really want to. And now it feels refreshing when a game comes out and all they're trying to sell you is the game. And I think videos about games have changed in a similar way. There are still tons of creators making videos about why games are special, diving into stories, mechanics, and all the little details that make people love them. But there are just as many videos focused on optimization. The fastest way to level up. The most broken build. That best way to play mindset feels like it's spread everywhere, even into single player games. And sometimes it makes gaming feel weirdly restrictive. As a kid, I never thought about whether I was playing efficiently. I just played in whatever way I found entertaining. I wasn't trying to optimize the fun out of the experience. And maybe that's part of why those games felt so magical back then. I wasn't treating them like systems to master or content to complete. I was just existing inside them and making my own fun as I went. Years later, after I'd finally beaten GTA 5 and completely fallen in love with its story, characters, and world, I wanted my little brother, who is 8 years younger than me, to experience it too. So one day I set up the old Xbox 360, started a new save, and got everything ready for him to play. After about an hour, I came back to check on him, expecting to see how far he had made it into the story. But he wasn't doing missions at all. He was just running around, killing people. In that moment, I was annoyed. To me, he was missing out on one of the best parts of the game. I couldn't understand why he was wasting his time instead of actually progressing. But after thinking about it more, I realized something. That was exactly what I used to do. I didn't care about the story either. I wasn't thinking about progression, pacing, or experiencing the game properly. I just wanted to exist in the world and make my own fun inside it. And somewhere along the way, I forgot that. Maybe he wasn't playing the game wrong. Maybe he was playing it exactly the way a kid should. Thanks for watching the video. This is a little bit different than what I usually make, but it was a topic I was pretty interested in. And if you made it this far, you might as well like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.